Well, it's a special Saturday morning edition. Welcome. Hopefully you guys are about to get ready for another invasion, which I bet everyone's waiting with bated breath. But I have up before us Charlotte. So I was very fortunate, pulled Charlotte yesterday, first pull right out of the box, very lucky. For those who decide to pull for her in the next week, we're going to talk about her today a little bit. The tour, there is a TP tour. You can actually fuse her up to 800 with the 800 shards, which takes her to 3-star gold. So if you pull her and you pull her to 3-star bronze or 3-star silver, I actually was able to finish that tour running her, and I only used one of the restarts, and that was actually against Ashka, not even against some of the other ones that are a little bit higher. But let's take a look at her moves. I run her yellow, yellow, blue, and let's look at the two moves I'm not using right now. The two moves I'm not using are the green. The kick out move, I mean, really, there isn't a whole lot of utility to it other than the fact that you gain some health. Ideally, to the other piece, which I think is worth mentioning, is the fact that every female basically relies upon a submission that you're going to face. I mean, I understand Bliss has, her tilt the world kind of finish with the shuffleboard, but most of the others rely upon a submission. Even at the higher levels, they've been running Naya with her submission move. So with the submissions in play, the kick out really doesn't come into play that much. Additionally, you have the 3 randoms into yellow. The problem you have with this move is, yes, it'll kind of bomb the board with yellow, but that's not really how she plays here. And I'd rather be able to move with the blue, yellow, yellow, but it's not the end of the world. If you want to go that route, I understand, but you can see there's a couple outs with the multiple gems here where having that move in play can kind of help you moving forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to run with this moveset. It's 2x2, make multiple gems into strength 2, and then you have the yellow move, which destroys 3 random multiple gems, and then you're laying 4 for a total of only 3 turns. Now, how do you play her? The way you play her ideally is you want to get to the finishing move. And when you get to the finishing move, by the time you're there, you're going to have that second yellow move. It'll be ready to go. So the key here is you're laying 4 submission gems. You want to lay them all on yellow. Ideally, you want to have 3 left. If you have 3 left, then you'll be able to recharge it completely. If you have 2 left, then after the move is over, you'll at least be able to be 1 turn away, and then you'll be able to recharge the destroy random multiply gems on the next one. And that comes into play later in the game because ideally, you're going to have potentially more than 3 gems that you're going to destroy. So there'll be some laying around there that you'll be able to pick up in the event that, for example, you cycle back. And the whole point is you just want to continue to cycle the destroy with the submission over and over again. And that's how you play her. Ideally here, you can use any of the coaches. I have Natalia here. Maybe I'll just, we can do Naya. We can do any. I mean, really, whatever has your poison. I'll put the blue on her just because it's a little bit higher. Now, this is the ideal moveset, and I thought about, initially I played around with going with Lawler, but you're still looking at 2 matches by turn 3 with Lawler, and you're not really gaining a whole lot. Here with the yellow, 1 yellow match, that destroy move will be ready, and you can play defensively for 1 more turn, and the submission will be ready on turn 3. Either way, whether you're running Lawler or you're not, you're still best case turn 3. So Enzo is the move if you're running an MP trainer. And really, you should run the MP trainer if you're eye to eye. If you're not eye to eye, which we may play around with in a little bit, then you want to obviously shed the MP trainer, and we can talk about a different build. Matt gives 4. 4 is important because the reality is that if you break 3, then it'll be able to recycle the finish. If you don't use Matt, it'll only be 6. So therefore, on the break, the submission won't be ready after that. So it's kind of, 1/2 dozen the other. All right, let's jump right in. This is in hell mode. This is the only straight up 3-star gold. So we're going to play with Naya, play against Naya here. Each one of these females, and I think you need to kind of gauge the understanding here, none of them are designed to beat you right away. So if you're looking to win turn 2, it ain't happening. All the builds are kind of churning, submissions, and all the rest. So here we are, not an ideal board. You know, it would have been a lot nicer if we had a yellow match, but we don't. We don't even have a blue match here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try to block Nia, go for the black, and then hope for the best here. So at least we pick up a blue. Blue's kind of our out, and blue also allows a little bit of cycling if necessary. So she's got her black. She's going to bomb the board here, but at least we're going to pick up our yellow. So as much as she's going to bomb the board with that red, she's going to be in a bit of a world of hurt. So as I said, any match with Enzo turn 1 or turn 2 will have that submission ready, and I'll show you guys how to play it once Nia hits us up here. Okay, so here we are with the submission. What we want to do is we don't want to do this move because you're not destroying any multiple gems. So what you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Want to put them on the yellow. So put them on the yellow, 3 turns. Here comes the submission on all onward and outward. She wipes out as expected. They always find a way, don't they? They always find a way to wipe out at least a submission. So here we are. So here we are. She did her submission. Now we're going to break the 3. Now the 3 will then recharge. And additionally, we will be able to, in this case, cycle again if we really want to. But we're not going to. So in this case, we're going to go right. We're going to go again with another submission. And you can see the value here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put one on a blue because we want to obviously have that blue ready if necessary. So you can see she's cycling here. There's a blue match, and now we have 3. I can lay that if I want to, but I'm not going to. And part of that, what's nice is if we end up breaking here, for example, and that's where having that blue as the backup, we could then lay that blue move, and then if it doesn't force a pin. Because remember, you're breaking 3, so 3 is 12. So if for some reason the pin bar is on the other side, like it was the last turn, then once we do that break, we can actually hit them again with another break because it'll recycle this move, which is at 8. So we're going to hit here, and this should put her away. And it does. So you can kind of see how her flow is really, really good. Initially, I was kicking around the idea of her 4-star move, which is a 3x2 yellow, but it's not going to cycle, and it's probably not going to hit you for enough, even with the multiplier gems in there. But you know, hopefully soon enough I'm 5 hairsprays short. Hopefully I'll pick up some hairspray, and then I can take her to 4-star sooner rather than later. But that's pretty strictly how she plays here. What we'll do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to do 2 more matches for you. I'm going to do one against, there's a Hell Mode female in Dean's Daily. It might be Ashka, and you can see what a nightmare she is. She's kind of the Ricky Steamboat of females. It's really annoying to play her. And for somebody here where, you know, ideally we want to lay multiple gems, her countdowns go off and they cause a problem, because it is important here, as you guys can probably see, to kind of make sure that those 4 times gems are on the board. So let's take a look here. Who do we got? It probably is Ashka. It is, and well, you guys will take a look at the nightmare that is facing her here, and it's really, really, you know, it's almost an infomercial for pulling for her next week. So as you can see, I'll leave the health the same. No reason to level it up any further. Again, same strategy here. It's a little bit different when we're dealing with going through and kind of dealing with the countdown gems here, because they cause such a problem. So it's going to cause me to play a little bit different potentially, but let's see. Once again, no yellow matches. You know, that's what's so funny when you see some of the guys in this game when they, you know, they sit and they just assume that there's a match every time, you know, and here we are 2 straight, we can't even get 1. So I'm going to go here, I'll get rid of the purple. So it's a 2-turn countdown, but obviously during a submission or a pin, it's going to go off. So it's going to cause us a bunch of trouble. So here we go. In terms of moves, again, no blue match, no there's literally no blue match, no yellow match. And she's going to cause us a lot of problems here. She's very, very annoying, as you can see. Weirdly, it's a weird move by her there. Once again, no blue match, no yellow match. So, you saw one off. It matched up with the green, and that's one creates these column breaks. The other one creates the green on the board. So it's fairly obnoxious. So here we go. She just keeps bombing our board very annoyingly, and finally, at least, we have our yellows. And more, one after another. Just kind of chipping away. Like I said, very Steamboat-like, very annoying. So finally we can start our cycle. And we're going to put them 1, 2, 3. We'll do 4. Now, you guys will see it's going to be extremely awful when these start going off, and it's going to happen right about now. There it is, boom. You know, and just look at that. They find a way just to clip your submission gems. So it's, you know, she's a little bit tougher because, as I kind of said, more of the gems get broken than normal, and it seems like it's just going to be a matter of time before, you know, some of these gems get clipped. Yep, and one's even a green. So, you know, she's a little bit more annoying. One way to do it too. Now, obviously, that's why it's good to have the blue as the backup, because, you know, one of those turned into a green. So I'm not going to be able to completely cycle it the way I was hoping. And hopefully with the blue we can get some, you know. So here we go. I can't do anything there. The move would be, in most cases, get the yellow. But, you know, we want to do a break. So if we're going to do the break, then what we ideally want to do is we want to go and we want to get our blue. And you'll see what we're going to do once we do. So here she goes, being, once again, extremely annoying. So it's almost, you know, I was almost hoping it would go on the other side. Why was I almost hoping it would go on the other side? Well, because if it went on the other side, then we'd be able to potentially get it where we could do the submission this turn and avoid, you know, her finisher, which, I mean, is going to hurt us, but not the end of the world. So we're going to hit it here. We're going to put these, and then he's going to break 3 in the pin bar with a 12. You'll see, boom. As I said, you know, with her blocking you in terms of where to put some of these gems, she's just an absolute nightmare. And, you know, she's really, really a pain. And here, all I'm going to do here is my main goal is to basically try to not mess with what I have. And of course, I mean, this is the kind of shit that happens where it's just, ugh. We'll go down here, and I have my yellow down there. Those unfortunately stay as cross. Oh, and that lays out a 5. Of course it does. This is just worst case scenario across the board. You know, with the moves, I mean, you can see, like I said, I mean, we'll probably still end up winning this match, but it is just an absolute nightmare playing against her. It is no fun at all. The moves, the 1 turns, they block they block the 4 times gem. It's one thing after another. Not a whole lot to say. Well, I mean, it's just, I'm almost apologizing to you guys for even making you sit through this match. It's that rough right now. 1, 2. I could block them here, but I really don't feel like it at this juncture. You know, so I mean, it is what it is. Get the submission down. And she's done. 8 health packs later. So, you know, it's just very annoying. You can see how she can create problems. She's definitely, as opposed to the other ones, you know, she's definitely one that, you know, definitely creates more of an issue because of those 1 turn, the 1 turn countdowns. And here we are, of course. So, all of a sudden, emulator moving a little bit slower than normal this morning. We're going to do one more match, and this match is more designed for guys who actually pull for Charlotte in the next week, if it ever decides to load up. What it's going to do is I'm going to face one of the 4 stars, and I'll show you how to play her a little bit, as opposed to, you know, there's really 2 ways to play her. Obviously, you want to shed the MP trainer. The other, there's either, you can go with Kane Striker, or you can run Zombie AJ, which not a lot of people have. Zombie AJ will, you know, obviously lower down the charge, but it doesn't necessarily cover you as much as you would like with respect to those 4 times gems. Let's back her out. Very slow this morning, are we? So we'll head back to the road. Let's go here. Yeah, we'll face Naomi. Naomi's at 4 star. You want to you're obviously overhitting here. She's going to have the bonus, which the class advantage, rather. So the problem is, most of the time, you know, here you're out kicking your coverage a little bit. So by that, you want to let that go. So you're going to take out Enzo, and it's my preference to go with Striker Kane. He can break 1 more if you take him to 5,000. So he's going to be breaking 7. What that does is it obviously lets you hit a little bit harder, and if you can get blues on the board as well, you know, he can break up to 7 multiplier gems, which is serious business. Additionally, while you're cycling, which is what's going to be necessary, then let's take a look at her moves. It's red, and again, I'm showing this more as a tutorial on how to go through and beat an opponent at a higher level. So what we'll do is I'm going to kind of show you the props that you're going to want to carry in if you need them. I'll try to avoid them for all extensive purposes because I don't plan on using Charlotte again, so I don't necessarily mind if I take, you know, a little bit of a health hit. So here she is. She's a low 4-star bronze, Naomi. Naomi has the class advantage on us, so it'll hurt us a little bit. But again, you want to start the cycle of churning. Once you start the cycle of churning, unless you have somebody like Ashka, which can really, break up multiple of your 4-time gems, you're usually in pretty good shape. So here we go. So what do we have? We have no blue. Well, we have a blue, but she's got her red, and let's take a look what she's running to. So she's got no MP trainers, which makes it a bit easier for us. So let's get our blue match first. All right. So again, you got a whole lot not to work with here. Ideally, in a circumstance here, what you'd want is maybe do the blue up if you had a yellow match, but you don't. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lay this right here and hope that she leaves it alone, which she doesn't. So again, we're going to try to block that red. I mean, it's amazing. We haven't really gotten good boards at all today. She'll get a blue here, match, and all. The key is just let's get the cycle going. I still don't have a yellow match anywhere to be found. We got black or purple. It's not real great to work with here. I'll lay this here, set up her red match, and let her submission me just to kind of show how this will play without using the MP trainers or any of the other pieces in play. So what we're going to do here, ideally, is I always like to use a submission to try to reshuffle the board and get myself at least something where I can work with it. But I mean, it's bad news here. It's just bad news everywhere. I mean, I can't get a blue match on the board. I can't get a yellow match on the board. I mean, there's a blue match. I guess that's what we'll do. I'll leave it there. And we'll block the green here. And we'll see what we can do on that end. So we can, maybe she'll leave that yellow alone. So I'm guessing this is probably a break heel gem move, and it is. Kind of as I expected. I think anybody's really feeling the glow today, and look at this, she's really not giving me a break here, is she? I mean, I finally have a yellow set up. Let's try this. This could be nice. Now, can I kick out? That's the question. Can I kick out with avoiding the yellow, avoiding going with a different match? I mean, I don't want to blow that yellow. That's really the problem. And I finally actually have a yellow I can work with. And of course, I mean, it's just, this board is just, it doesn't get any fucking worse. I mean, we're probably at turn 5 here. And it's a colossal. Finally. So, finally I can kind of show you guys. I mean, I've just gotten, for 5 turns, just the worst board you could possibly lay out. But watch, we're going to survive this thing and we're going to end up beating her. Mark my words. So we've got a blue and a yellow and a yellow. So what we want to do here is we want to obviously get that yellow rolling. So we're going to get the yellow rolling. And we got both in play. So she takes our blue away. Boo-hoo. So again, the yellow now, we want to put on other yellow gems. Now we could get super greedy, and I think maybe we will. Let's roll the dice here. Yeah, no, because it's only one blue. I mean, if we really, really felt comfortable, we could try to have a blue in there. And maybe we'll do it once we cycle her once. But let's take a look. You guys will see exactly what I'm talking about. So when you employ Cane, at least now you know all of them are going to get broken as opposed to just 3. So at this point, all 4 of those multiplier gems are going to get broken. So it's a bit of a harder hit. Alright, so in this circumstance, we don't really have the yellows. So what are we going to do? So ideally what we want to do is we want to put them on the blue. And you'll see why. So with the blue, if somehow, some way, which I seriously doubt, we can survive this thing, it'll be a home run. And that's what it's going to be. So here we go. You're going to see this is an absolute home run, and it won't even force a pin unless we get a cascade. Look at this mother. All right. So again, I see the 5 over there, but why do I want to waste that? I don't. I don't want to waste it at all. So what we're going to do is at 53. I'm just trying to evaluate, because you want to lay it where ideally you want to get a couple yellows in and a blue, but this is an interesting circumstance where I'm thinking maybe we do force the pin here. We get our 5, and then from there, and this will be a nice little cascade here because it'll turn into 3, and then you'll see what we're going to end up doing. Watch. So see, there's the 3. Boom, there's your match. So next turn we'll lay it's one of these where you kind of fight another day. So watch what we're going to do here. This is going to kind of be pretty nasty. Okay, so we're going to go here, we're going to put a blue here, we're going to put a blue here, and then we're going to go. So let's take a look. You're going to see, and this is again against a 4-star bronze. We took some damage initially when we had an atrocious board, but you can see how once you get her going, it's trouble. So here we go. This is exactly what I wanted to see happen. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 on the board. We can lay now an additional 4 on the board. I'm putting loot gem in because I'm a gambler here. And now check this out. We're going to break 7, and this should put her away. And it does. So there you go. I mean, you can see how it's relatively easy. I mean, I got all the way through with 3-star silver before I was able to get the fuse. So with a gold, it's easy peasy. I mean, we didn't get a yellow match for 5 turns, and I got hit with a submission, and we still came out, smelling like roses. So that's how Charlotte plays. Her 4-star move is a 2x3 yellow. I don't think it's going to change her much. I like having the out with the submission, or rather with the multiplier gems in case they get broken. Obviously, if something else happens where you need to get back to the yellows, that that other blue move might work. I also think if you layer it on top, but we'll try it. Once I get her to 4-star, I don't think it's going to be enough to win, and then you're just going to kind of be hung out to dry after the submission. But we'll see. But there you go. There is Charlotte. That's how she works. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'll see you all soon.